It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Hello, model citizens. Welcome to Humanity Junction. Tonight, since there's nothing else to watch on TV, I thought I'd come on and do a little stream and see what trouble I can get into. If you guys haven't heard, Digitrax has come up with a new firmware update for the DT602D. And if you've been following my channel for a little while, you'll know that I've had my share of issues updating the firmware. So tonight we're going to take another attempt at updating that, and depending on how much time there is left after I update it, we'll figure out something else to do. And no, I am not the halftime show. I am the show. And Dwight says, guess you're not sick anymore. I wouldn't go that far. I'd say I'm about 75%. I basically just slept most of today, so I'm feeling a little bit better, but I don't know. Is it halftime? I don't even know. I don't even know what football teams are playing tonight. That's how behind on everything is. I just don't even I just don't even know who that is. So let's see who's here. My brain's a little foggy still, still feeling a little sick, but we'll get through it tonight. We'll get through it. Let's see who's here. We get Anthony Dodge, the Model Train Outsider. We get Artie from Awesome America Model Railroading. Barry Olson's in the house. Brad Anderson coming from the Gerard Division Model Railroad down in Australia. Cameron from Caboose 21 is here. Don Head's in the house. We got Rick from the Fultz Bailey Model Railroad. Frank Nayer's in the house. Joe Rader from the Black Rock Central. John Binicki's here. Dwight from the Curly Express. Lynn McCurdy in the High Desert Modular Model Railroad Club. David Atkins sneaking in as he's eating his dinner. We got Marty from Marty's Train Shed also coming all the way from Australia. Coming in from the mini studio, it's Bernard from Mini Prince. We got Andrew from Mr. Pictovid. My Finger Lakes Railway Layout is here. Nathan Delay's in the house. Nisi J, Ray Bertelson, Ray Ron VR, the Ice Dragon. Robert Darby's in the house. Roger Coleman, Ron Moen, Roy Eltham, John from the Schuylkill River Valley taking a little bit of a break from doing some taxes. We got Thomas Split Rocks here. Steve 87th Peace Stat. We've got Dave, Steve, Jenny, somebody from Stormy Sky Rail Productions is here. Paul Scott from the CNW Mondavi line. Thomas Grassi's here. And the man with the hurt back, Mr. Wigwag Workshop, at the end of the list. Thank you so much, everyone who is here. I see Lehigh River Subdivision snuck in. I'm sure a couple more people have snuck in, but thanks so much, everyone, for being here. And I don't know if you can hear, but my voice is already starting to go. So we'll see how tonight is going to pay off. So I asked, does anybody know, is the Super Bowl going on? Is it halftime? Does anybody even know? I don't even know. I have no idea what's happening. Sounds like a couple people are having internet issues. There will not be any wardrobe malfunctions during my show, although you never know. Queensland is 108. I think it was like 38 here, maybe something like that. So close, but you know, David's here until supper, so that's good. Check your internet. It's buffering on the beginning before I came on. I don't know. I mean, we can hit the button. We can run the speed test. Who knows? It's either going to work or it's not. Nathan DeLay is getting ready for his meet and greet in Northlands, which is coming up on March 11th. So if you're in the area of Flemington, New Jersey, come visit with Nathan as well. Let's see, what else do we got going on? This time next Sunday, Lynn McCurdy is going to be packing up for the Great Train Show in Ventura, or packing up from, I guess, after the Great Train Show. We're nearing the half. Okay, that's, pretty good timing then, right? Thank you, Andrew, Mr. Victovid, for the $5 super chat towards the Humanity Fund. If I do this firmware update in one shot, I will use that $5 to buy myself a lollipop in celebration, I think. Yeah, I haven't watched the NFL in forever. I don't even know how you watch it anymore. I mean, I'm assuming it's online or something like that, but I don't know. I think somewhere there's a bunch of guys chasing a bag of wind around the field. I guess that's one way to talk about football. That's true. Ah, good. Good. The halftime show, or I guess the whole NFL has postponed their show until we were done. Yeah, I wouldn't know how to watch it. Oh no, lollipops are $7.50. I will have to go search my couch. Hopefully I will be able to find, I got distracted. I don't know what I was saying. Oh, $7.50. I've got to go into my couch and find some change to make up the difference between the have you ever gotten those like those big, huge lollipops that take you like, 2 licks to get the center of the Tootsie Roll Pop, or however it goes? If Heath wouldn't have mentioned football, I wouldn't have even known. The funny thing is, I actually looked up who was playing because I didn't know who was playing. And I found out that one of the teams is the Philadelphia Eagles, which was the team that, like, I grew up around or whatever. But good morning. I'm going to sleep soon. But I don't remember. I don't even remember what the other team is. So I'm sure somebody's playing somebody, and I'm sure at the end there's going to be a winner, and there's probably going to be a loser, and that's probably the way it's going to go. As Thomas says, there's some great commercials on TV. I don't tend to like the Super Bowl commercials. I find they're too, they try too hard. I just think they try way too hard. And some of them are good, but I think some of them just miss the mark. Oh, it's 1:10 a.m. I guess that is morning for you then. Although you could be on your way to bed as well. I used to live north of Philadelphia in a place called Bucks County. And my high school marching band, we went and we, played for the halftime for the Eagles when I was in all that sort of weird nonsense. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, back when I was in high school, I think they were still playing in Veterans Stadium. So I believe I was in the old stadium, not even the new stadium. And the fact that I even know that there's a new stadium, I sort of have to question myself right there. Some people are saying I'm frozen. I don't know. Are they saying I'm frozen because it's because it's cold out? Who just said that? You are frozen. Roger said you are frozen. I don't feel very cold. It actually feels a little warm in here, but might be okay. There are probably a lot of people on the internet right now. I've got 500 up, 500 down, so I'm still streaming okay from here. But it is what it is. I'm doing what I can. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at this firmware update, shall we? And I'm going to cough for a second because... Okay, we'll try and not do that too much tonight, but... so let's take a look at this firmware update. We're talking about a firmware update for the DT602D, which is the... I don't know if it's actually the 6th generation of the Digitrax throttles, but it is, they had the DT4s and the DT5s, and now they have the DT600s. Stop bragging. Stop bragging. It was a silent cough. It's almost as if I have a mute button over here. Almost better. Yeah, I'm doing what I can not to sniff. I took a lot of decongestant. Yeah, see, here's the thing about NCE, right? If you bought your throttle back in 1996, it's the same damn throttle with no changes whatsoever. Whereas with this system, you get updates. But anyway, that's my rant about NCE. If you don't know, just to go back a little bit a ways, I've got some other videos on my channel about the DT602, and one of them is called How I Bricked My Digitrax DT602D Throttle, and that's about a 4-minute video. So if you guys want to go back and read and watch how I bricked my throttle originally, you can watch that, and then you can watch a 12-minute video that I did on my lack of progress trying to update the throttle. And then I did an easy step-by-step firmware update of the DT602D. So for today, I'm going to try and follow my easy steps of how to update the DT602D. Here's... The reason this update came out is that people have requested a night mode for the DT602D. So Digitrax listened to their customers and put out a new firmware update that added a new feature based on customer requests. And essentially what it does is it takes the white and the black pixels and it swaps them, it swaps them over so that you can... it's a darker screen. So I think it's great. The fact that they can just, NCE's done updates. To do the update, you need to swap a physical EEPROM out, which is always exciting. This way, it's just all firmware, and There's, you know, no taking anything apart, and it's just nice, simple, straightforward, and whatnot. And I've used Digitrack's warranty, and they were fabulous. Got everything back very quickly. I do know that there are people that have issues, but they've been good. They've been good to me. But yeah, this firmware update is really just a feature update. So, oh, is that true? The last NCE update was from 2007? Yeah. So they've done a couple updates. When this throttle first came out, there were a couple little firmware bugs that they updated. It used to beep every time it would shut off, and people complained about it, so they did a firmware update for that. So a lot of the firmware updates they're doing are driven by user requests, which I think has been really great. If you guys remember, I've got my little portable test rig here. It's actually kind of upside down from the way I usually have it, just because the cable, my USB cable, I wanted to run it this way instead of the other way. So what's behind me is it's a little gentleman's club. Let's actually, if we do this one, I think you can see a little better. It's a gentleman's club. These are PTF design background flats, and one of the background flats has a blinking light. There's some blinking lights over here on this one as well. But yeah, it's just some of the lighting on some of the background flats that are behind me. So yeah. I love that we're starting this like fight. This is great. I know. I think it's. I think if you've got NCE right now and you're not seriously looking at the TCS CS 105, you know, I don't know. You know, I mean, Jim Score says he's been selling the same throttles for 20 years. Why change now? And people still buy them. So, you know, it's a good business model for him. This is my little setup. One of the great things about Digitrax is it's backwards compatible. So this is the DB150, which is one of Digitrax's much older command stations, and I'm able to use this old command station with a new generation PR4 to update the throttle. So we're going to attempt to do that today. So it's Heath's fault. It's always my fault. Eagles up 10 at the half. If you guys are watching on the replay, you probably already know that. The blinking lights need a software update. Probably. I guess I probably should move that one because everybody seems to comment on that. Yeah, so the DB150 is the oldest command station, my understanding, that still runs and works with all of the new equipment. So it's a really inexpensive way to you know, add to your system. One note. I believe, and double check this, but I believe the DB150 is grounded, whereas the newer ones are opto-isolated, and you can't mix boosters. You can't mix a grounded booster with an opto-isolated booster, meaning that I can't use this with my DR5000, because when the locomotive crosses from the one power section to the other power section, you'll have a grounding issue. So yeah, but the DB150s are great for this type of a setup, very inexpensive setup, and we're going to use it today to update this guy. Oh yeah. Oh Roy, there's going to be excuse me, I'm sorry. That's probably really loud, isn't it? See, Dave's got a DB150. These guys are workhorses, still working. I apologize for the coughing. I really will try and mute when that happens. I don't have a quick way to do it. Anyway, first thing we're going to do, we're going to go to the Digitrax website. When we get here, we're going to go to the downloads page. And on the downloads page, SoundLoader 255 has been released, which is the latest version. Let's just zoom in a little bit. So 255 is the version that I'm going to be using. I'm actually not using SoundLoader, but the Digi-IPL that comes with it is what I'll use. So that's the latest software there. And we're just going to go down. And if we scroll down a ways, you can see here we go, DT602 firmware. This is a version that adds night mode display color inversion requested for low light conditions. To use dark mode color inversion, on the menu, press menu 3 to enter throttle options, and blah, 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 blah. So I click on download this, which is the firmware update itself, and download this as well. Yeah, Wigwag, it's not the, you know, it's not great that you have to use Windows, but you know, there's just a reality. I've got Windows computers, I've got Mac computers, I've got Raspberry Pis. It's like they're all just tools. It's just kind of what it is. Yeah, Dave, I bet there's some big game going on that I'm guessing a lot of people are watching. And Lance, yes, it has been too long. It's been way too long. So yes, this is PC based. Go out and get yourself a cheap PC because it's just the nature of the world, right? I mean, whatever. Yeah, apparently some men are running around in tights playing a game or something like that. So anyway, we're going to download these files, and once we download those files, we'll go into the download folder, and here's SoundLoader is right here, and the DT602 firmware here is actually already loaded this SoundLoader, so I'm not gonna load it up again. Interesting that you asked that. Do they ever have updates? Let's see. BX88, DB210. These are their command stations, DCS command stations. Here's DS74 is one of their switch controller things. DT402. Well, back in 2016, they came up with an update. LNWI, PR4s, UR92, 93. Oh, is there a UR93 update? Nope, I have that one. That's an older one. Zephyr. Doesn't not look like there are any firmware updates for their decoders, but you can use Decoder Pro, not Decoder Pro. You can use SoundLoader and load custom sounds onto their sound decoders. So that is one feature as well. A lot of people seem to be having internet issues tonight. I don't know what the story is, but Barnabas wants a Gauge Master Prodigy Advanced 2. The Gauge Master Prodigy, I believe, is an MRC DCC system. I know D-Roll Daryl talks about that one a lot. He's tried that, and he really seems to like that. So, yeah, nobody in Australia seems to be watching the game. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah. Wait, you're going to convert me to NCE, or we're going to convert Sparky to something else? So here's the big joke, for me at least, or at least what I think's so funny about the Digitrax versus NCE thing is I don't use either of them. I mean, I use both of them, and I use none of them. I mean, my layout runs off of a DR5000. I've got S88, I've got ExpressNet, I've got LocoNet. You know, to me, it's all fun and games talking about like NCE versus Digitrax or versus whatever. They're all just tools, Use whatever you want to use. I use what I use because I can hook up whatever I want to it. And that's, I don't want to be limited to a single protocol. And that's why I use what I use, so I could use anything that I want. If you guys don't know, Bernard from Mini Prints is promoting his peanut butter lid diorama entry for Valentine's Day. So you've got 2 more days. Get it in. If you don't know what Bernard's talking about, get a peanut butter lid, make yourself a little diorama, put something little small and mini in it, and send it over to him. And he's been having a contest, you know, every once in a while. It's interesting you say MRCs and NCE want to be, because MRC was around long before NCE. Yeah, and you know, the layout I operate on is NCE, and I bring my TCS throttle, and you know, it works the same. It's all, yeah. My only argument is, when new stuff comes out, I want to be able to use it. And that's why I've chosen the system that I've chosen, is that I want to be able to update things. I want to stay current with the technology. I want to, you know, keep sort of growing with this hobby. And for me, that requires a system that is as versatile as possible. I wanted something that's, you know, firmware updatable. I want something that I can, you know, integrate all of this other stuff. So yeah, the TCS throttle, I've been pretty happy with it. It's been working pretty well. I really want to get more into that throttle over there, but they're all tools. They're all tools. That's all they are. That's all they are, tools. So, yeah, I think I always love this. NCE people are so set on proving that their system is better than anyone else's system. And I love riling them up, because I've never met people, well, that's not true. There is one guy that's on the TCS groups that people know. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I met him up at Amherst again. He's a really good guy, but he's the only person that I know that's more of a fanboy for some sort of model railroad thing, almost than NCB. Lance, absolutely, Lance. I will go back and I will, I'll go back and just talk about everything. You don't need to use peanut butter. Just use any jar top that's about 3.5 inches in size. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, I mean, that's just a fact, right? I mean, like, if you look at consisting and you look at how TCS is doing consisting, you cannot argue that NCE isn't missing that feature. That's just, it's just a fact. So, so yeah, yes, NCE is missing a lot of features, but anyway, NCE runs trains, not people. That's true. Well, and that's, so DCC systems aren't the protocol's not proprietary, which is why you can use DCC EX, which is a great system, and I'd love to build one if it was a little bit easier to get Arduino things these days. But yeah, and this is the reality too, right? Is buy a throttle that you can use at the clubs that you're going to go operate on. So, you know, I have an NCE throttle, so if I go somewhere that only has NCE, I can operate with an NCE throttle. I've got a TCS throttle, so I can use, you know, a TCS throttle. It's, you know, I don't, whatever. I'm, you know, I just love riling people up. It's so fun. Oh, it's too funny. All right, let's get back to, if I was to start all over again, would I choose a different DCC system? If I was to start over today, I would have a very, very hard decision to make between getting the CS 105 or getting the DigiKeys DR5000. Neither. Lance, I wouldn't get either of them. To be honest with you. I know, Don, you like that, how it caught? Well, we'll have to see if that actually even works later. But yeah, so Barry, you got to remember, NCE pays Ken to say that. The advertisers on Ken's show pay to be talked about on that show. So anytime Ken says anything is great, he's being paid to say that. So just Mr. Victovid with the TCS throttle replacement fund, adding $2 to his already $5. Almost enough for a big lollipop. Almost enough for a big lollipop. ESU, that's an interesting option. There's not enough ESU in the US for me. That's kind of my reason for not really considering ESU. The good thing about the TCS system is backwards compatible with NCE, so you can use all your NCE throttles with it. The DR5000 doesn't have, is compatible with Digitrax, with Z21, ExpressNet, whatever. So you can use that with all those kind of things. So it'd be I'm interfering with their Super Bowl program. It would be it'd be a hard thing. I do have the ESU programmer and do use a bunch of ESU decoders, so it's and a lot of modular clubs tend to use Digitrax. A lot of them, but yeah, I mean, if you're just getting into DCC, go, talk to people around you and see who's around you and get whatever they have around you. I'm not sold on Bluenami yet. You've got Bluenami, you've got Loco-Fi, you've got ESP32 based decoders, which are based on Wi-Fi. I don't know who's going to win that battle. Bluenami's interesting. I think that because they have soundtracks behind them, that is a good thing. But it's just like any other standard. I think it's going to take a while to see how that plans out. And yeah, the ESU ecosystem is fantastic. They're just not, there's not a lot of clubs and not a lot of places that use them. So yeah, a lot of people, N-Scale with a Bluetooth app? I wonder what they were using. So here's a little bit my gripe with Bluenami is download the Lion Chief app, the Lionel Lion Chief that runs their trains, that is Bluetooth, and then download the Bluenami app, and they're pretty much the same. So I don't know. Bluenami, you could use, you got to be HO or bigger to use Bluenami at this point. There's nothing N-Scale with Bluenami. But all right, let's, we're never going to get this throttle updated at this rate, which might be okay. But what we're going to do next is let's close this. So what I always do, you can't see it, it's right here. What I always do is I always open SoundLoader first, and then I open the Digi IPL 2.9. So the reason I open SoundLoader first is because of this little green dot right here. When you open up DigiIPL, if you notice right here, it says LocoNet port and nothing pops up. But when I click on it, oh no, it's only showing one. That's bad. There we go. So COM3 came up, right? So I have COM1 or COM3. There's nothing here that tells me whether my PR4 is connected to the program in this DigiIPL. There's nothing here that says that. So always open SoundLoader first, click on COM port, check on what COM port is connected, and that once you get that little green light, note what that COM port is, and then come over here and open DigiIPL and set it to the same COM port 3. Bluenami is expensive. The prices will come down 100%. Start a poll, Digitrax, NCE, TCS, or Brio. That's pretty funny. No unboxings tonight. No unboxing. There was a guy that did a presentation. It might have been for an NMRAX. I can't remember. I believe it was called W-Track, and it's essentially custom Brio. Now that CNC machines, now that it's possible to get a CNC machine in your wood workshop, the people seem to be making their own Brio modules, and I think that's just really, I think that's really interesting to me. But yeah, there will be a test on this later. Don't worry. So the other thing that I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on Find Devices. When I click on Find Devices, this little window pops up. If you can see, and I don't know why it does this, but it shows up twice the PR4. So right now, the only thing that it can see is the PR4. It doesn't see the command station. Not 100% sure why, but it doesn't. But when I take and if I plug in the throttle, this is the throttle. We're going to plug it into the command station. Throttle comes on. Now when I click Discover again, now the DT602 pops up. You can plug in other things. Here's, that's just plugging in the rest of my system. So now when I click on Discover, I've got the UR93, I've got the DT602 and whatnot. So we're gonna kind of pick what we're gonna update. I'm gonna disconnect that for now. What did I miss? A bunch of dancers in white suits. W-Track is an N-Track, T-Track-like modular standard for wooden railroads. Yeah, and it's really cool. Please repeat everything. I'm sure I will. I am sure I will. Lynn's saying he's screwed because there will be a test later, and you only have yourself to blame. So we're going to select the file. We're going to go here. We're going to go to Downloads, and we're going to select the DMF file that I downloaded. This is the latest one. It's even dated 6 February 23, which I'm sure if you're on your phone, you probably can't see that at all. But we're going to open that. And if you notice, it knows what the product type is. It knows everything that's here. So as long as when you click Find Devices, you've got your DT602 showing up. You can see it says Ready, Start. I just realized I don't have any way. Do I still have it set up? No, let's do this. Video capture device, add existing. Let's see, here we go. Okay. What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm trying to set this up so you guys can see both things at once. So, this should work. Let's try this. Okay. All right, so we can all see now the throttle on my desk, and it is upside down, so we will rotate that 180. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Start, over here on this little green thing, we'll hopefully see some little progress bars going. We should see the screen, not the screen, the keypads on this flashing. And theoretically, when we come back, we should see this here. It says software version 0.1, and hopefully that'll update. So cross your fingers. If you weren't here earlier to hear the conversation, I've gone through this before. I've bricked it. There's a video you can all go watch on how I bricked my throttle. It's good watching. It's good fun. But yeah, we'll hopefully we'll see. Shouldn't be any blue smoke. You see well over $500 worth of equipment. Mine was $200. Most does it all. Where do you see over $500 worth of equipment? This is $50. This is $180, and this is $80. I mean, yeah, my computer. I mean, if you add up my computer, it's over that. So, reboot again. You want me to reboot, or you're rebooting? Who's rebooting? It's 8:41. Let's hit start. Let's see if this works. I got all the right screens up. Should we zoom in a little bit? Oh, other way. Other zoom. Should we other zoom in? So we'll see what happens when that comes back up. Ready? Here we go. Programming. It's yellow. It says stop. There is an option to stop. It's flashing, so that's a good sign. Hopefully it'll keep flashing. But if it doesn't, we can go watch this video and we can go back and see how that went. But yes, this is not a this is not a cheap hobby. That's the truth. There are ways to make it cheaper, but yeah. Yep, if you go with Digitrax, yes, it's expensive. That's why I don't use Digitrax. My command station is DigiKeys, so it is, it's not what I use. 1943, I don't know if you guys saw my stream on Tuesday night, but I got my 1943 boxcars, finally, which was really good. Yeah, a little bit of disco lights. And yeah, why it's called the hobby, exactly, cost is relative. 100%. I mean, you know, I'm not one. I am not building a cost-effective railroad. Unfortunately, that is the reality of it. I do have some DC stuff. You know, this shelf right here is mostly DC, which I do love. Epilepsy. I don't know if it's I hope it's not flashing fast enough that it would cause that. Show is over. Now the commercials. You have to tell us what good commercials there are so we don't have to go and watch all of the terrible commercials. So we're still going. That's a good sign. Everything seems to still be happening. Things are still moving. So hopefully, I know, right? Is there a call? I don't know. I don't know. And this is it for me, right? I'm building the layout that I want, and that includes a lot of the new tech and expensive options. I'm in the same boat as Roy. I'm not in this hobby for the structures. I'm not in this hobby for, the ground cover. I'm not in this hobby to build bench work. One of the things that I love about this hobby is the technology. And that's what I find exciting about this hobby is the technology. And that's why I've got, all this stuff. Is just because that's my favorite part of it. Save money on tree purchases. I do, man. I buy my trees on eBay. Well, I mean, you can buy expensive trees on eBay as well, but I mostly buy cheap ones. So if this update doesn't take, which I'm hopeful it will, but if it doesn't take, what Digitrax says is just keep running it. Apparently, the way their update system works is you really shouldn't be able to break anything. You just might need to update it more than once, and that's. But I've updated this throttle actually a couple times after I've done my, I bricked my throttle video, and I've had a lot of success. And Inked Rails, man, 100%. This is what I think is incredible. If I haven't finished the unboxing yet, but I think that's what's incredible about this hobby is that people can do. People can be in this hobby for different reasons, and we don't have to all like the same things. Yeah, I mean, really. Well, and that's the other thing too. I think that's great about this hobby is you can be friends with somebody that likes structures and you like electronics, and you're actually better friends because of your differences, right? I mean, that's what it's all about. Building structures and dioramas is my jam. It relaxes me, takes my stress away. See, for me, building structures is incredibly stressful. Incredibly stressful. So, I like animation. Yeah, see, me too. Animations and that kind of stuff is where it's at. I'm going to play my thank you video while this is going on. Hopefully we'll come back before it's finished, but stay tuned. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't work, but let's say thank you while we're waiting.
It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Welcome back, where we're still updating. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. This is why this community is the best out there, as everyone helps everyone 100%. And we can spend all day bashing on the companies that support this hobby, but at the end of the day, we wouldn't be able to do what we do if it wasn't for those companies. So we do have to appreciate what they put out there, and we might not always agree with their choices, but it's part of the game. Thank you, Mr. Roy Elfman, for the super chat. I am going to the Colorado meet and greet in Greeley, Colorado, May 19th to 21st. I'm actually going to arrive on the 18th. I'll fly into Denver, drive up to Greeley, Colorado. If you don't know, Greeley, Colorado is the home of the Colorado Model Railroad Museum, where Michelle Kempema works. John from TSG Multimedia will be there. Sparky 107 will be there. Sparky 107's been doing these kind of yearly big adventure meet and greets. So Sparky threw out there, hey, let's all go hang out with Michelle for the weekend. Michelle agreed, John got involved, and it spiraled into what I think is going to be a pretty crazy event. It is also where Jason's at. I don't know that we're going to be visiting with Jason or not while we're out there, but yes, he is around the corner. Steven, see, it's the electronics that relax me. Oh, I don't know if you heard that beep. It says ready. It says ready. Let's see if it worked. I'm not sure what I'm not sure what's going to come back. So there you go, software version 2, February 6, 2023. I don't know if everybody could see that, but I should now be able to go into the menu, hit 3 again, and somewhere, I don't remember, I always forget which one, there you go. Somewhere, does anyone remember what option it was to flip the, oh, here we go, invert color. So I should be able to, there we go, turn it off. And now I should be able to get out of there. And it doesn't look like it inverted the colors. That worked well. Invert color off. Do I need to invert color on? It's not changing anything. On, off, on, off, on. Invert color on. Do I have to restart it? Let's try restarting it. I'm not reading the chat, and I'm sure people are telling me, oh, there we go. It's inverted. Dark mode. How cool. That is so fun. See that? Now we got dark mode. Robert Darby is going to try and come via Amtrak. Do you mean Jason Jensen? Does who mean Jason Jensen? Well, I mean, it's the home of more than one people. The UT6Ds did not get this update. I don't know why, but I did check, and as of now, it doesn't have that update. But, you know, maybe go ask him. Yep, good old Digitrax. Yeah, I know. I waited a long time before making the decision, and finally decided to go. I agree as well. I'm a huge fan of dark mode. Anything that puts off unnecessary light, I don't like. The firmware update, it restarted on its own. Apparently, though, when you make the change, you also have to, start over as well. I want to try something. I don't know if this still works or doesn't work. Let's see if this works. I don't know if it's working anymore. Apparently not. NMRA X is June of 2022. Oh, that's when they had the W-Track clinic. There you go. NMRA X, June 2022. So yeah, that was a pretty cool. Lynn says, pending his wife's recovery, might make it. Oh, awesome. Awesome. There you go. There we go. It did work. So you can shout out people, type in !SO and then at their channel name, and it'll give a response that will bring up their channel name. So that's kind of something fun to do. So yes, it is true. You can be a fungus in the dark. It's kind of what happens. But here, so is there anybody on here that's like a JMRI expert? Because I'm having a little issue with JMRI, and I don't know how to solve it. It might not be an issue with JMRI. It might be an issue with something else. Don't know what the issue is. But I'm wondering if anybody here can help me solve it. I know, right? When you go to a website and it's like bright white and there's no like dark mode option, it drives me crazy. My one of my email programs only allows, oh, that's cool. Oh, what did he say? That would be cool to meet him in person as well. Okay, what's my issue? Let's walk through my issue, shall we? So we'll go back to display share, and we will get rid of this camera because we don't need it anymore. And we'll close down these guys and move them out of the way. So when you open up Panel Pro, and if I select So right now I'm in PR4 standalone mode, so you don't get a lot of options here, right? But if I go to Tools and I go to Preferences, and this is where I'm sure I'm gonna lose a lot of people. And let's say I'm gonna enable my DB150 connection, and when I save it, I'm gonna have to restart. So now it is connecting and using the DB150. Oh, you just sent it. There you go. There you go. Let's ignore that. So now I'm connected using the DB150 profile. So now I've got a different menu, right? So I can go down to Configure Duplex Group. And if you notice, nothing shows up right now. And that's because there's nothing that is connected, right? But when I plug it in and I read the group information, now it's connected and it shows up and you can see. Yeah, so I took the train to Amherst, which definitely saved some money. But, well, I know, but this is specific, I think, to my setup. So when you have the UR93, right, you can go to the channel scan and you're supposed to be able to scan duplex channels loop, right? So this should scan my duplex, it should scan the channels that my duplex is, the update didn't make it a DT603. Yeah, and I don't know who's going to drive me around, but I'm not renting a car. I'm not. So when I go to scan it, though, you can see it doesn't scan anything. And I don't know why it's not scanning anything. So I feel like somehow it's like it's selected here, and it even, it shows right here, channel 24, Wi-Fi 14, like it knows what the information is, but when I go to the channel scan page, it's not working. So my question to all you JMRI experts out there is, why am I unable to scan the channels? So just for fun, just to test something out, we can go here and connect the DR5000 option as well and restart it. Default preferences are invalid. Why are the default preferences invalid? Set connections. I don't know what's wrong. Oh, maybe this is why it wasn't working. You have duplications in ports or connections. Do you want to save anyway? Yes. Later. Oh, so let's go back here and check the connections. Uh-oh. See, we were talking about you. And then you showed up. Yeah, so I'm going to show up at the airport and figure it out from there. I'm getting the airport at like 12:30 on Thursday, and hopefully I'll get there somehow. So let's see. Okay, let's disable this one. Let's enable this one. Oh, no, disable. Disable. Enable, disabled. Save. Restart. So let's try this. Let's try this again. Yeah, I think it's just a lot of people on the internet. Call me, I'll be there by noon. Are you gonna, when are you, oh, you're driving over, right? Yeah. I still need to figure out how to get from the airport over, but, I figure, yeah, see, I don't know how to make this work, but, Andrew, if I was going to take a train from here to Denver, I would be on the train for like 2 days. So, I don't know. Where's JMRI System Console? I don't know where that is. Open up JMRI System Console. Debug. Import, update, validate, check. Tools. I don't know where it is. I won't be in the area until late afternoon or evening, aiming for 4 p.m. or so. If you pay for the hotel, I'll pay for the car and drive you. The hotel that I'm staying at is actually pretty cheap. The Quality Inn or something like that. It's like $300 for the weekend. Well, cheap, right? It's relative. It's all relative. Yep, I'm flying into Denver. Yeah, Chicago, yes. Yes. Yeah, Quality Inn. That's where I'm staying. It's the Quality Inn. And it's there's a DoubleTree, but the DoubleTree is booked up already, so I'm staying in the Quality Inn, which is a oh good, Container Man's staying there as well. It's a 4-minute walk from the DoubleTree. Perform action. I don't know what that means. Perform action. Is there something somewhere that says perform action? There's no action window. Pick me up on the way. I don't know, where's Container Man coming from? There's free shuttles from the airport? I found a shuttle that is $55 to get from the airport to Greeley. But if there are free ones, somebody send me the link for the free ones, because I like the price of free. The price of free is good. But Quality Inn is, yeah, it's 2 blocks from the museum and 2 blocks from the DoubleTree. It's actually closer to the museum. Go back to my previous message. Yeah, you said open the JMRI system console, and then you said perform action. But you still haven't told me what menu any of that is under. Yep, free is good. Exactly. I redid my I redid the clinic on the time saver, and one of my excuses for using JMRI was the cost. That it is the perfect cost. So the official dates are the 19th through the 21st, but if you come on the 18th, there might be a dinner on the 18th. So yeah, that's you'll be going by the airport. There you go. If there is a free shuttle, which I highly doubt the Quality Inn has a free shuttle from the airport, at least based on the cost. Oh, go to preferences, then startup, then add. Oh, you never said any of that, Timus. Now I seem to be falling apart. It's been a little bit of time. I don't even know how many people are watching this, or who's watching this, or if anybody's watching this. I could be talking to myself for all I know. Kyle's hitting the hay. Okay, so let's see. If you want to join the barbecue on the 18th, you have to check the 2023 YouTube Meet and Greet Facebook group and sign up. Sparky, you want to post the link for that? Oh, Heath, there's a train show this coming weekend in New York. What part of New York? They were in Delaware today and yesterday. I wonder what train show that is. Lynn's watching, but nobody from Stormy Sky Rails is watching. Quality Inn is a 3-star. It's not a 4-star. Correct. So yeah, I highly doubt they're going to have a shuttle. And yes, if I was at the DoubleTree, they'd probably have a shuttle. But I doubt the Quality Inn has a shuttle. But it's $55, or like Container Man says, like when it gets a little closer. Honestly, I'll worry about it when it gets closer. I'm not going to worry about it now, but I will. I'll definitely. Roger, how did you fall asleep during the explosions? We had blue smoke. We had explosions. We had things melting. I don't know how you missed it. I mean, this was all tech, all fun, all fire and brimstone. Everything fell apart, and you missed it all. I don't know. One of the things that we're trying to do is a tour of the UP shop. So it is likely, or it is hopeful, that we will be able to see at least one of them, definitely. Here's the link to the Facebook group. Go check it out. If you have any questions, post up. I don't know when Rihanna's going to sing, but I do understand that there have been talks with her team. So hopefully that'll be happening. Oh, when is it in New York? Where in New York are they? Are they up by Syracuse? Railroad enthusiast, I go to the Greenberg shows at Edison all of the time, but I don't know about that one. Tom says Colorado is too far for him. It is a drive. It is, yeah. If you're not going to fly from Florida, it's a long, unless you're retired. I mean, Tom, if you're retired, you might, might be an option. I believe the thing you want is in the LocoNet menu. Show the LocoNet monitor. So just, oh, not that one. Just to go back to look at that for a second, I have gone here and gone to the monitor LocoNet, and if I, if I like plug in the throttle or something, it does monitor the LocoNet, but it's scanning, but it's not. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. Oh, is your wife coming? Is Amy coming? I didn't realize that. Yes, there will be a test. 100%. Ah, got it, Tom. Yeah, it makes sense. And yeah, Michelle will talk to Ed, and I believe they're trying to work on a group thing. There's some train ride, something or other as well, that they're trying to do. I forget the details. Oh. I can't click on that. Let's try, where's Sparky's link? Let's click on that. YouTube meet and greet. Apparently I'm not a member of the group. I'm a member of the group on my other channel. Why isn't it showing? There we go. Discussion. Breaking news. Hi can't be there. But yeah, quick update. We have some planned activities that can occur Thursday evening all the way through Sunday around lunchtime. If you can meet up with the rest of us in Greeley, we hope to see you for as much of the events as possible. We'll have a sign up for those definitely going to send details to. Reminder, this is a meetup where we are all independently agree to hang out for the weekend. We are not an official group or tour group. All associated costs for each individual is the responsibility of each individual. So, yep, we'll be there. People are posting videos up. You can go, Sparky's got a video, James has a video, Hi has done a video, a bunch of different people. You might need to connect a throttle to the UR93 for it to scan something. Oh, that's an interesting point. Okay, so the throttle is now connected. Scan. So the throttle is connected. I can turn this camera back on. You can see right here, it's called human and it's 24. So the throttle's connected, but it's still just, doesn't seem to be showing anything. Oh, it is funny. It does go from purple and then it turns yellow and then it goes back to purple. I don't know what that means. But like nothing's showing up. I don't know what to read group information, so it knows it's there. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Lynn did a video on his cell phone, but he can't download it. If you have time and transportation, head south from Greeley to Golden. Lots of trains next to cores and a model train display. There you go. Frank, are you going to drive? Sparky, do you know what route you were taking to Greeley? If you go to the web page, I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, we're all trying to get James Browsel to go. If I'm not mistaken, there is a link somewhere Here's some of the events. Barbecue at Michelle's, Colorado Railroad Museum tour in Golden. Oh, is that? Hold on. You're saying head south from Greeley to Golden. Is the Colorado Railroad Museum in Golden? I'm confused. Anyway, Forney Museum of Transportation and private tour their N-scale layout. Oh, I get it. There's a Colorado Railroad Museum in Golden, and then there's a Colorado Model Railroad Museum in Greeley. Ah. Henrietta, New York. I'll have to figure out where that is. I'm not sure where that is. TSG is going to do a live show from there. So if you like the streaming thing, go to Cheyenne Depot Days. Big Boy 4004. Ride the train at the Georgetown Loop in a shop tour. And Railfan, the UP and BNSF line. So that's what we're planning. There is merch. Sparky's got some merch out there. It was designed by, oh, I just realized I'm like, here. Sparky's got some merch. Where is it? Where's the Greeley merch? There it is. Down here at the bottom. I don't know who the knucklehead was that designed it, but you can go get the merch. This photo of the big boy was taken by Michelle Kempema. Quality Inn in Denver does have free shuttle service. Yeah, but I'm not staying in the Quality Inn in Denver. I'm staying in the Quality Inn in Greeley. So it's a 1-hour drive. So I can see the Quality Inn in Denver having shuttle service, but probably not the Quality Inn in Greeley. The Colorado Museum in Golden is narrow gauge. Greeley is HO. Huh. There you go. Vermont is a bit too far from Colorado. Yeah, it's a trip. Henrietta's a long way from Heath. That's my part of the state, but I can't afford to go to a show in Henrietta next week. Ah, there you go. Yeah, I wasn't sure where it was. Henrietta, New York. Let's see. Directions from New York. Oh, I guess somehow it figured it out. So it looks like walking to get from New York City to Henrietta is 101 hours. If I take the train, I can't get there. By car, it's 5 hours and 12 minutes. Yeah, I probably won't. There we go. Township south of Rochester. Yeah, it's a little far for me. 20 hours and 14 minutes. That's your drive time, Sparky? Is that what we're talking about? Thomas says, if you open the system console log, you might see the error. Where do I find the console system log? Log message? Display log categories? Well, here are the log categories. I don't know how much that helped me. Thomas, you got to kind of tell me what menu to click on to get there. Roy's driving as well. Oh, there you go. So both Roy and Sparky are driving 20 hours. I don't know that anybody's going to drive farther than that then. I think both of you guys will have that beat. Yeah, so Rochester's a little far. I'm going to have to go to I'll go to the next Edison one, but probably won't. Northeast Regional up the Hudson and then across to Rochester. There you go. I don't know why it didn't tell me that was a possibility when I clicked on it. Power off imminent. Press any key. Don's only driving 13 hours. That's still a drive. Don, you're in Minnesota, Illinois? I know you're somewhere up in that area. I'm just not sure. Yeah, exactly. You guys are, I guess you're exactly that far apart. Container Man's only 6 hours. If a retired battery wheelchair does not go that far. Come on, George, you can make it. You can make it. Dwight, are you going to go to that train show, the Greenberg train show? St. Louis. So I'm terrible at American geography, but I don't know why. I have the hardest time keeping straight that like Don is from St. Louis and Split Rock is from Minnesota, and they're different places. I don't know why, but like in my head, I keep thinking they're the same place. And I've been to both places. I've actually been to both places, so I don't know. Railroad enthusiasts, are you going to be there? Are you going to be at the show? Ah, John. Hope surgery goes well. All right, from Panel Pro. Oh, you did tell me. Select edit. Startup. Oh, why do I need to add it as a startup action? There's no way to add. There's no way to just open the log. Or I have to start logging to then be able to open the log. Is that what you're telling me? Is that I should start the log because the log isn't running? And that maybe if I then start running the log, I will see the I will find the issue. I don't see anywhere to just see the log. Usually there's just a place where you just like look at the log, open the log file. I would guess it's in there, but anyway. No, start logging just. Oh, okay. So he's saying to start it so that it can write to the. Got it. I'll do that later and check it out. Human, during winter, Minnesota and St. Louis are definitely in different places in the United States. About 70 degrees different. Well, St. Louis is on one of the lakes. Is that true? Or is Minnesota on one of the lakes? I don't know. I'm feeling like I'm just like completely. Let's see. Saint LOUIS. Oh. So if I'm in St. Louis and I want to go to, let's see, St. Paul, Minnesota. Oh, Minnesota is much farther north than St. Paul. I didn't realize how much further north it was. There you go. So they're not that far from each other. Compared to coming from New York, they're not that far. I have no interest in driving. Oh, that's what it is, the river. St. Louis gets cold, but nowhere near as cold as the Twin Cities. There we go. A 3-hour drive for me to get to Tony's Trains. St. Louis gets the ice, we get the snow. You can catch a train from the airport to downtown Denver, and then catch a train to Fort Collins and get a bus from there to the motel. Artie, I don't want to like, I mean, you know, I get going in circles, but I feel like that's a little too much. On the map, they look close, but try to drive it. Well, it says it's 8 hours. That's close, right? So Cambridge, Ontario to the museum is what route, Heath? Now you want me to Cambridge, Ontario to the Colorado It's hard to spell when you're on. I don't know why. It's hard for me to spell when I'm on a stream. All right, so here we go. 20 hours and 38 minutes. Wow, that is a drive. Look at that drive. Woo! Oh boy. Wow, that's a drive. The airport near Greeley is Denver. Yeah, I'm the new out. Yeah, just keep sending stuff out, and I'll just keep looking it up. So here, if we go, so Greeley is up here, Denver is down here. So Denver, Boulder, Fort Collins is right there. Is there an airport in Fort Collins? I would think there's an airport in Fort Collins. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't really know. But yeah, my flight's flying into Denver, and then it's an hour drive up 85 to get to the airport. But yeah, Sparky is, ooh, you get to drive through Nebraska, Sparky. That's fun. I've driven through Nebraska. And then where's, that's a trip though. That is quite the trip. Okay. I don't see any actual trains. Yeah, I don't have anything running tonight. Yeah. Get a rental car? Who should get a rental car? I'd fly there in the airlines. Yeah, it really is. Like when you, I mean, that's pretty wild how he's gonna, so Sparky's gonna drive through Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, and then Colorado. And the difference, oh, did I say Iowa? I might have missed Iowa. That's a lot of different states to drive through. That's a lot of different states. Fort Collins is where the atomic clock is located. That's true. Quality Inn is in Greeley, Colorado. So if we go, oh, that didn't work. If we go right here to Colorado Model Railroad Museum. So the museum's here, the Quality Inn is right here, and that's where I'm staying and Container Man's staying. And then there are a couple people staying over here at the DoubleTree as well. So this is about a 4-minute walk from the museum. This is about a 4-minute walk that way, so whatever. It would take me 3 weeks to drive there. Well, you'd have to build the tunnel first. Zoom in where he will go through Illinois. If we drive through Arizona and New Mexico and come up to the south about 2 days. Yeah, they are tired. They're on vacation. I'm gonna have to bum rides. I'll chip it, and that's what I'm gonna do too. Is I'll pay gas money or whatever. So I think he. So here's where he goes through Illinois. What did you want to see? Peoria is, I'm trying to find the border between Iowa and Illinois. But yeah. My son rented a car in Boston, RT. Boston. Oh, return to, oh, got it. Return to Minnesota and was cheaper than 5 people flying. Yeah. Flights can be expensive. Will he be close to Rochelle? Rochelle, Illinois? Is that what we're trying to find? Rochelle, Illinois. Let's change the order. So here's Rochelle, Illinois, and he would have just come basically straight across 80. So to get up to Rochelle, he'd have to go up to 88. I wouldn't drive through Chicago. Yeah, I wouldn't drive through Chicago either. Airplane from Washington, D.C. to Denver. But yeah, I got, my flight was like, oh no, my flight was more. My flight was a lot of money. I couldn't believe the flight was a lot more expensive than I thought it would be. I thought I don't know why I thought the flights would be cheaper, but I assumed I was thinking I'd find like a $300 flight, but that's that wasn't happening. Really, $250 from Philadelphia to Denver? Why was it so expensive for me? Can anyone answer that? New York City to Denver. Let's see, show flights. Oh, yeah, so, okay. So you can, if you do, non-stop flights are more expensive, but you can get slightly cheaper flights if you take flights that have stops. But even so, like all the flights they weren't really They weren't really cheap. Yeah, New York flights are generally pretty cheap. Red-eye flights are cheap. That's true. Oh, Amy's going to take a plane home. There you go. Heath, you can drive back with me, then fly home from Toronto. If I had the time. I don't have the time. That's the problem. That isn't too many states to drive through, just a lot of miles to drive. Yeah, if you drive north-south on the East Coast, you'll go through a lot of states in 20 hours. All of them, actually, from pretty much all of them. Split Rock says, please take US 30 across Nebraska instead of I-80. Oh, follows the UP main line the entire way. There you go. I don't know how Amy would feel about that, but that sounds like that would be pretty awesome. Is that the Split Rock? Is that the main line that you do you actually run that main line? I'm a rich New Yorker. I wish I was a rich New Yorker. I am definitely not a rich New Yorker. I have not been in a I've been in a car with Sparky. I don't think we've been up to 90 miles per hour though. They'll see that Canadian plate and they'll stop you. Oh, is it along US 30? Is a triple track mainline? That sounds like actually a pretty cool road trip. That does sound like an interesting road trip to do. So try 110 on. Now I know what you're saying. I can drive north from my house for like 800 miles and still be in California. I know. That is so true. And I love that movie. I gotta watch that movie again. I haven't seen that movie in a while. But you've been lucky, you think? I got pulled over for going like 90. I was on my motorcycle, and the cop pulled me over, and he's like, "Do you know how fast you're going?" And I was like, "No, it was so beautiful out here. I was just enjoying the drive." That he didn't like that. He didn't like that answer very much, but I don't know. I thought it was a good. Answer. So yeah, I'll be going to Greeley. Got the throttle updated tonight. It's like squirrel and they won't know it passed them. Wait, did Split Rock say how far? What? Oh, no, I run the Chicago to Twin Cities main line, former CNW 400. Oh, gotcha. There you go. Somebody needs to shoot that swallow. Probably wrong. Bailey Yard, is that as in Rick Bailey? Bailey Yard's the only interesting thing in Nebraska. I have some cousins in Nebraska that I actually went and met once, and we whatever town the University of Nebraska is, and I think it's Lincoln, Nebraska, but it seemed like every other town, every other sort of American town. So, yeah, who knows? But I am going to go retire for the evening. Nice simple night. Did get the DR602 updated to the new dark mode, which I love it. I love dark mode. Hopefully they'll bring it to the UT6D. I think that would be a great addition to that throttle as well, but so far it's not there. My next big event that I'm doing, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm sure something's coming up. February 19th, I'm going to an operating session again at a local layout. I know Island Ops, which is out on Long Island. If you go to islandops.com, the registration's open. If you are in the area and want to get a chance to operate on a couple of layouts, that's I think the end of March, maybe the end of April. I don't really remember. I know where I'll be in May. In May, I'll be in Colorado. That's all I know. Outside of that, I couldn't tell you what else I was doing. But from the city that never sleeps, farewell, model citizens.